Hello, welcome to Chow Time. I am Spike Spencer. This is my kitchen, and today we're going to be making a probiotic gut healthy thing called sauerkraut. Cue the Papa German band. All right, cabbage, salt. Thank you. That's it. Literally that's it. So here's what we're gonna do. All right. First, whenever you get a little head of cabbage, take the first leaf off and give it to the chickens or the goats or whatever, if you have those. Second one, you want to take, and you're going to have a piece of lettuce. You're going to have a leaf like that. You want to save that because in the jar, we're going to use that for a bit of a lid, almost like a cartouche. Thank you. It's a cartouche. I knew it would come to me. So we're going to do, I'll show you how to do this in a little bit. But right now, let's just chop up some cabbage. That's really the big deal. If you have any stuff in there, any little critters, let's make sure they're not in there. They're out, gone. Good for you. See you later. Again, off to the chickens and goats. See how they like that. Now you've got this big honking core there. Let's get that out of there. You can just cut that like that, which I've done. Now it's gone. Core over there. Core over there. Oops, more core. I mean, you can chop up the core. It doesn't matter. This is all going to be fermented, but I'm not crazy fond about the core. A little schmutz. Get that out of there. Get out of the core. There it is. All right. This is a small head of lettuce, so it's going to be kind of a small batch. I usually do these. I will do a very large batch of sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. It is so good, so easy to make, and it's so good for you. It's crazy good for you. You can do a lot of different things. You can add so many different things to sauerkraut, and I've done a lot of experimentation. I'm just going to cut it out about that big, just, chop it up nicely. You're going to mash it up. I'm going to mash it up with a hammer, not a hammer, but the, meat tenderizer is what I use. I'll show you. We'll talk about technique in just a second. And I'm just cutting it all up and throwing it in a bowl. That's the most exciting part of making this. Well, actually, you get to take some of your frustration out on the bowl in a little bit, which is a lot of fun. Food therapy. I think that's a thing. It's a really good food therapy when you're dealing with like making pasta and noodles. That way you can work out some of your issues. There we go. So, we are going to take all of this chopped up cabbage. And again, this is where you can chop it up as much or as little as you like. Whatever. It doesn't have to be a lot. And last one. Here we go, y'all. I usually do half a head at a time in a bowl about this size because there's a lot going on. There we go. Here we are. Beautiful. All right. Now, we have a bowl full of chopped cabbage. Yay! The next step is salt. This is where it gets interesting because I don't know exactly how much salt to use because they're all different. It depends. Do you like your sauerkraut saltier, milder, etc.? I would highly recommend you start off less salt than you think. For about this size right here, I would say about 2 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons. Not quite a tablespoon here. Because that could get pretty salty. That's about it, really, right there. And now, with this, we are going to mix it all up a little bit. We want to get sure. We want that salt to get everywhere because the salt is going to draw the moisture out of the cabbage. There we go. Once we get this nice and mixed up, we are just going to let it sit for a while. I have learned to, originally it was like, let it sit for 5 minutes or so, and then you're going to moisturize, you're gonna massage the cabbage for 20 minutes to get all of the moisture out. I'm not massaging my cabbage for 20 minutes, not a euphemism. I'm going to take a bowl like this. I'm gonna set it on top. And then I'm going to take a big honking can, I'm going to set it right there. I'm going to let that push down for, I mean, it's sitting in there for 30 minutes. I could go do other stuff, so let it sit for an hour, whatever you got. It's not really a huge issue. But the more moisture you can pull out of there, that becomes a brine. And that brine is what's going to help the sauerkraut ferment. So I'm going to leave this here for a little while until I'm ready to come back, and then we'll have a quick edit, and I'll come back and I'll show you what we do next. Hang on. Okay, it's been a little while, and this setup, I've had my big honkin' can pressing down on the cabbage that has been salted. Now we are ready to take care of business with this. So now I could go in here with my hands and just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And what I used to is I would sit in front of the TV and just sit here and just massage the ever-loving crap out of my sauerkraut, out of my cabbage. And I said, you know what? I don't really want to do that so much. Because what I'm trying to do is get as much moisture out of it as I can. But sometimes, I don't want to do that. So I decided, hey, I got this, and I can start just beating the crap out of it, and hopefully that will make it work a little bit faster. Because ideally, you're going to have a nice bit of brine at the bottom. There are some recipes that they'll use like extra salted brine. I've never had to worry about that too much. I just say, look, if there's enough salt in here or enough moisture being pulled out, that's great. But even if there's not that much, I'm going to tell you, after a couple of days of fermentation, you're going to have some pretty good juices out of there. A lot of these things will overflow. See, this is a jar I made a couple days ago, and see how it was all the way packed up to the top, and now it's kind of fallen down. There's a little bit of liquid in the bottom, but listen to this. Oh, it didn't do it. So the gas is usually, this morning it was going, so I got rid of most of the gas, but you're gonna set it out. Once you put all this in your jar, you set it out for 5 days, roughly, and every day you're gonna burp it. You wake up and you turn it and you go, and some days, I would say definitely put it on top of a paper towel, because one of those days you're gonna come out, day 3, day 4, and you're going to hit it and it's going to overflow. And sometimes it'll overflow at night. So definitely put a paper towel there. This is basically all we're going to do. We're going to just beat the crap out of it for a while. And there are some actual old, like, I don't know if it's Amish recipes or stuff where they just basically, you take the whole head of cabbage and you cut a hole in it and fill it with salt and put it in water or something and set it like under a cabinet somewhere. I mean, crazy stuff. It all works because it's fermenting, and the fermentation is so good for us. In the morning, if you can start off your day with a couple of forkfuls of sauerkraut, or kimchi is always good. That is a great way to start the prebiotics going, and it feeds the good stuff in your gut. That's why fermented foods are so good for you. And I've worked on all kinds of different things to try to, ferment this, ferment that, and make it work. I've had some successes. I've had some not so successes. But this one is almost always a great success. You can add a lot of different stuff to it if you want. You could add some garlic. I tried pear once. Didn't do anything for me. Caraway seeds is really good. I think I have some up there. I may do that. You know what? The one that really surprised the crap out of me was adding chopped up or shredded ginger. Yeah, I know. It made my sauerkraut so good. I was like, wow, this is so freaking tasty. All right, I think this is good enough. There we go. And so I like using the hammer. Mix it up with your hand. Let's see where we are. Yeah, that's pretty good. The one thing about mixing sauerkraut with your hands is you will find out if you have any paper cuts. So it's very revealing in that way. So I have a jar here, and I mean you can use all kinds of canning equipment and get the really good jars with the lids that are pressurized and all that good stuff. You can totally do that. Totally do that. I have had some sauerkraut that I didn't do any of that pressure canning or any of that with over there in my pantry for a year. Popped it open. I was like, well, let's see. It was freaking good. I thought it was great, actually. All right. Get all of it in there as high as you can, because it is going to squish on down. If there's any juices in there, you want to get all of that. There we go. Push that down. Now here's the trick. Remember I told you save that one leaf. So we're going to use this as a cover for here. So you can get it just right if you want to. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's going to be some space down there. I can just go ahead and stick it on down, push it down the sides. There we go. And now I have a cover. See the cover? Look at that. Now push it on down. There we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your sauerkraut. Cover that. Clean it all up. And we have a jar of sauerkraut. So these, I thought so. These are going to be excellent. This one's a couple of days old. This one I just did. And like I say, you're going to set them out. I'd say give it 5 days. Every morning, come out and open the lid just like I did before. Just give it a little open, and you'll probably hear it because it's going to release that gas, and it's going to release more juices in the bottom. And this will age about 5 days is good, and then you could put them in the fridge if you want. I just left them in the pantry. I mean, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that's what I did. It's salt, It ferments really well. It does a great job, and it tastes better than anything you're going to get jarred at the store. I guarantee you that. You are going to love this sauerkraut. Give it a go, and please like and comment down below. Tell me some of the stuff that you put in your sauerkraut. So please subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends about Chow Time, and thank you so much for joining me for one of my favorite recipes, sauerkraut. And I will see you next time right here on Chow Time. Let's eat.